I said, this is the kind of woman that I could see marrying and having children with. And my mom says, yeah, I think things are going to work out with you two. And I'm like, no, that's not that. She lives in Toronto, I live in the US. We don't live in the same country. And my mom's like, no, I got a good feeling about this. 2 weeks later, I flew to Toronto and
we got married.
I had decided that I wasn't going to go to the Cancun event because, well, I just was doing a lot and I wasn't really keeping with the practice. And so I knew it came at 10 o'clock in the morning was the time to register. So at 9:30, I got from my desk and went out on the shop floor and avoided. And then around noon, I was wondering, I wonder if they sold out. I'll just go check. And next thing I know, I've got my credit card out and I'm signing up for Cancun.
I got into Dr. Joe's work just as COVID was starting and the lockdown started. And I started practicing it, purchased the progressive and started doing the meditations and all. I had no idea what I was doing. But like a month, 2 months, 3 months, and I saw my life kind of turning itself around. And then the idea of even attending a retreat was just so far out there. I had this feeling, I was like, I just feel so complete and full. And all of a sudden I opened my phone and there's a registration for Cancun has now opened. So I'm like, okay, I know it's Mexico. I know I've never traveled alone, but I just feel so drawn to this. I'm like, I'm just gonna go take a look at what it's all about. So I go in and before I know it, I'm signing up for it and everything's booked.
I was a single guy and, there's a lot of fairly attractive women at Dr. Joe events. And I noticed that was really distracting. And I think that had a lot to do with, late night tequila shots just weren't working with it for me. So I actually made a deal with myself, consciously made a deal with myself. You're gonna go, you're gonna keep your head down, you're gonna do the work, this one's for you, right?
Fast forward, I get to the retreat, again in a very nice and very blissful place. I was excited about it and nervous at the same time. I didn't know what to expect. Before that, I was obviously seeking companionship, but that wasn't the intention of me coming to the retreat at all. I was coming here just for myself and to feel whole. So
I always get to the door an hour before they open. So an hour and a half before session so that I can get up right up front, right with Dr. Joe. And when I lay down, I'm, have lots of room. And there's like a crew that kind of shows up an hour early. Those are the people, the excited people. And it's fun to talk with them. And there was a little guy in his 60s and lots of energy. And we were talking and we ended up sitting next to each other. And he was like, as we were chatting, he finds out I'm single. And I said, yeah, but no, I'm not here to meet anyone. He says, oh yeah. He says, can I get a selfie? And so he holds up his phone and takes a selfie of us. I'm sure, that's great. Well, I know he sends this selfie with him and I out to all these women. So the next day, I get in line and we're talking and he pulls out his phone. He's like, so, some women have responded. I mean, what are you talking about? He says, well, I just kind of I put it out there, And I said, no, I don't want to see that. I actively do not want to see that. I said, I'm doing my thing. And he says, no. And he's like scrolling through all these. I'm like, no, I don't want to see that. And then I hear this voice from behind me and she says, wow, they're gonna have you married off by the end of the week. And I'm like, well, who's that?
I ran into someone and we talked and just a normal casual conversation and we were
very innocently talking and we kind of hung out for the last part of the event.
Talking about the retreat and sharing ideas and all of that. And then
he says, would you like to come to my back patio and we can have some tea? And I'm like, well, that's better than tequila shots, I guess. He goes, yeah, this is probably more my speed.
I had no expectation. It was the last person I could have ever imagined.
We have some tea and have a great conversation. Again, everything really innocent. I'm like, wow, what a neat person. Really authentic, really genuine. And then the next day was the end of the seminar and she flies off to Toronto, Canada, and I fly off to Scottsdale, Arizona. Basically every night we would talk and the conversations got longer, but again, very innocent, all, talking about the work and what we wanted to do and what we wanted to manifest. I was becoming interested in maybe more than just being, pen pals or whatever that was. So I told my mom one time, I said, this is the kind of woman that I could see marrying. And my mom says, yeah, I think things are going to work out with you two. And I'm like, no, that's not the, she lives in Toronto, I live in the US, we don't live in the same country. And my mom's like, no, I got a good feeling about this. 2 weeks later, I flew to Toronto and
we got married. Just like that. It was just so completely out of the blue. It just happened in no time, out of nowhere.
we hadn't even kissed yet.
I had a list of like, these are the characteristics I want in a person. I wasn't holding on dearly to it. It was just something that, from all my experiences, I was able to get clear on exactly what it was that I did want.
It was just so right.
It has been a journey and a blessing since.
3 months after that, she was pregnant with our first child, who's now almost 2, and now she's 6 months pregnant with our second child. It's better than I could have imagined. And I realized there's 2 big things. One, I've never got a purpose bigger than just myself. And number 2, I've got a really great woman beside me, and that really makes all the difference. And it's kind of what I thought all along, and it's again better than I could have imagined. So I'm just really, really grateful. I feel really blessed.
For anybody who's there seeking inspiration, when you feel whole and you feel like you don't need it, yes, it's lovely to have. That's an idea that I have of what it would be. But I don't need it because I feel so much love and so much wholeness. That's when it comes and hits you out of no time, out of nowhere, and that was our story.